Mobile learning to me is when you're able to learn anytime, anywhere. And so that's what I've been trying to provide for my students.
Mobile learning means that students have access to a cell phone or any device, which can be used for students to learn a second language or any subject. And it's something that is accessible 24/7. Students have them with them all the time.
90% of our students have cell phones, and 100% expressed interest in using activities through cell phones, even if they don't have a cell phone yet. I think it's important that we break the digital divide that exists for folks who may not be able to afford a computer with an internet connection at home, and to be able to provide them materials with resources that they already have.
And I just decided, I'm going to keep it simple. I want to use the phone for texting, for taking pictures, and for calling. Because when I do a needs assessment, the number one thing students want, they want more listening and speaking.
Students really like texting. I usually send a text and I get instant feedback from the students. But if I actually give them an assignment, like for instance to leave a voicemail, they actually take longer for them to do that activity. Some of the activities I have used integrating cell phones in the classrooms include texting, a dictation, recording audio voice to a Voki, and interviewing a partner using Google Voice or using their cell phone. When we use texting inside the classroom, I have them work in groups, and they will have a reporter, which is actually going to be able to provide answers. And most of the times there are 2 or 3 students in a group that have a cell phone. Vocus is an online tool that is provided for educators. It's free. And what students use this for is they're giving a phone number with a code to record the voicemail or the assignment that it's given by the instructor. I provide them with the feedback after this Voki is created with a voice. The final product can be embedded into the course website for other students to comment on each other's Voki. You are going to interview a partner, and if you have a cell phone, do the same thing. Record the phone call, right? So you're going to call the teacher, right? And you're going to leave a voicemail with the interview.
And the great thing for me is when I'd see their text or listen to their English, I could pull out the grammar where I could see where they're making mistakes, authentic mistakes. Sometimes when students have a grammar worksheet, it's pretty easy to figure out is, are, and they're not really challenged. But when they have to text a message or they have to say something, it changes their experience. And it really shows me what they have mastered or what they need to review.
Another activity that we've developed is that students will be able to listen to a conversation that we've gone over in class. So they recognize the conversation. I've recorded it with someone else, and the students are able to hear 2 distinct voices practicing this conversation that they're already familiar with.
An activity, for example, filling in the blanks, they will be in small groups, and some of them will have cell phones, and they will provide answers to the instructor. I can provide them with feedback on spelling or grammar, punctuation.
I've noticed that the students are engaged and they're working with each other and like, no, that's not right. And making different students, even students who don't text normally, they're teaching their peers and they have to speak English to say what letters and how to spell it, so they're working together.
I think this is a great way to connect with students and also for them to interact with each other and for the teachers to get to know the students.
When you go into the classroom and you're willing to use a little technology, you have to be willing to say, sometimes things aren't going to work out the way you want them to.
You have to try it until it actually works. So never give up if you actually trying something new. Always try to identify students that are computer savvy and they might be able to help you as well.
The outcomes that we're seeing from the use of this cell phone technology are that the students are improving their English skills because they're able to practice what we're learning in class additionally. One student mentioned to me that they were particularly excited about using this technology because now, while they're waiting for the bus, they can actually practice their English.
And my job, if I have a little time in my lunch time or in my break time, I like to learn because I think it's another way for review, and I want to speak English. I want to learn English.
I think the use cell phone, the practice English in the live practice is very, very necessary in these times.
The final result is really rewarding because the students are able to produce something, use the English that they're using in the classroom, and actually put it into practice.